Well, having technical difficulties here. How you going?
I'm good. I'm really good.
All right, we are coming to you live from a beautiful park in Zagreb. Well, I've written it down.
It's Zrinjevac Park. Zrinjevac Park. It's 12,500 square meters.
And it's
park
beautiful.
right in the middle of the city of Zagreb.
And we've got beautiful big shady trees. We've got, you probably might be able to hear the fountains going behind us. I'll lift the camera up in a little while and give you a look around. We're just sitting on a park bench and got the tripod sitting on the backpack. Who knows? We've got pigeons running around everywhere. So if we last and it stays in place, that'll be great. If it crashes, probably funny. But no squirrels in this park?
No, but I just noticed I do have a bit of balsamic vinegar on my T-shirt. So I'll just put that there so you can't see it.
Do you know, we were talking before, we're going to tell you a little bit about Zagreb in a minute, but it's amazing how adaptable you become when you travel, don't you? You know, like you wear the same outfits over and over. We had 3 weeks without a washing machine, and we were hand washing undies and socks and bits and pieces, and then we just put everything through the washing machine. But you know, like because it's not humid, it's not humid here.
Yeah.
You know, you can wear the same things over and over. Like we've been wearing joggers every day, and even
to restaurants.
Even to restaurants. Like I would just be horrified. I would never do that at home. It's a crazy, isn't it? Because we're out and about, and we're just like, oh, we can't bother going home. No one knows us really.
Yeah.
It is amazing how adaptable you
and
become.
Surprisingly, if we really thought about it, probably no one knows us at home in restaurants either.
Well, probably not, but it's just, I guess you get dressed up. I don't know. Like, don't wear much makeup. You know, I've only got about 4 pairs of earrings, which for me is a big deal. So it's, there was something else we were sort of mentioning too. You just...
Oh, the water with the coffee? No?
Oh, yeah, we're going to tell that in a minute. But I'm just like how adaptable you can be, right?
Sure.
Just, you go without breakfast and
you wash you wash your undies in the shower every day.
Oh, and I know what else. We've been drinking black tea because you either A, have no milk when you arrive, or B, you run out of milk. So we've just
I've got to tell you, it's not bad.
I know, but I would never thought I'd drink black tea. So
no, neither me either.
Yeah. So we got to Zagreb. We caught a bus from Ravine, which I was a bit sorry to leave Ravine. I can see our camera wobbling. Someone just went flying past on a scooter. If we go sideways, don't worry, we'll pick ourselves up. It was a good, just over 4 hour sort of bus trip, and arrived in Zagreb, got a cab or an Uber actually from the bus station, and we headed to our apartment. So it was sort of self check-in, which was really easy. Apartment's great. It's there's no balcony, which I love, but I can't see any buildings around here with balconies, and we're in a fabulous location. It's big, it's modern, and has a washing machine, as I said.
And the Bupa was cheap.
Uber,
sorry, Uber. Uber was cheap. They do have Bolt here as well.
They do, yeah.
Which we haven't used, and we've been on a couple of occasions. We've spoken to locals, and they've all been more than happy to recommend us to use taxis.
Yeah.
So obviously in Budapest that wasn't the case. So obviously they're reasonably they're a reasonable price.
We started our week, and we won't give you all the details because of course we're going to do a whole podcast with all the stories. But we decided we'd do a walking tour to start, and we started off in this park actually. That's why we came back here, because it's like half a block from our apartment. We started off in beautiful sunshine. And ended up in pouring rain. So it is what it is.
When we say pouring rain, it was pissing down.
Yeah, pouring rain, right?
Yeah.
But we had, you had a raincoat. I had my umbrella. So anyway, it sort of made the crowd at the cannon fire. That's the big popular thing here at 12 midday every day. That's 140 decibels. Goes, doesn't it? It's a real cannon fire.
It's a real cannon.
Yeah. But it was a great walking tour. Like Zagreb. What an unusual city, I'd say. Like it's got the beautiful parks. I mean, just stunning parks everywhere. We've walked miles and miles around botanic gardens, and yesterday we went to a park where they had 5 huge lakes, and that was spectacular too. and yeah, we did over 20,000 steps yesterday. And then in the city, there's these little obviously the flowers and fountains and trees. So you've got that sort of part of the city, but then
and they've got like don't forget to mention about the horseshoe.
Yeah, well,
garden area.
I don't want to give everything away though, do I? Because we do have a podcast. So
well, put it this way: we're sitting at the start of the horseshoe.
If you look at the map,
gardens.
There's gardens that there's 7 different gardens I think that make up the horseshoe shape in the city. So of course we had to walk those, didn't we? But on our walking tour, there's a couple of disappointing things, and like I don't know why we didn't know this, but there was a huge earthquake here in 2020, and they're still rebuilding the city. Like the main cathedral, which has had the highest spikes, is the highest building in all of Zagreb.
In Croatia, actually.
Okay, yeah, is completely surrounded by scaffolding. They've got to do it, obviously, but that would have been a beautiful cathedral to see and go inside of. They did tell us some funny stories about the cathedral, but we'll put that in the podcast. It had to do with Las Vegas and the bishops. So that was one of the things. And another thing that we on the tour was what they call Tunnel Brick, which is a 350-metre long it was built in World War II, and for like a bomb shelter. And then after the war, it fell into disrepair, and they've only opened it in 2016 to tourists. But it actually had held the first rave in Croatia.
Yeah, that was interesting.
But it was closed on the walking tour, but we decided we'd go back, which we did, and go through that. So, that was worth it.
Which was the next day, yeah. So.
Yeah. The next day we went back. They had it closed because they had an art exhibition in there, so you couldn't walk through. And
just to give you an example of the things that are closed and the things that are on under scaffolding, I'm just sitting here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4... There's 4 buildings around this park that have got scaffolding up. So, yeah, it's a bit disappointing. And I suppose at the end of the day, the Croatian Tourism Board's made a decision not to mention it in any of their promotional activities or anything like that, because we had no idea.
But the buildings that have been, fixed up, they're pristine. It's not. But the other thing that was closed that I was about to say before is the funicular. It's the world's shortest funicular, and that was advertised as part of the walking tour, and it's just closed for 2 weeks. They're doing maintenance on that.
Yeah. They do it every year.
Yeah, and it opens the day we leave. I mean, that means no big deal. I just would have liked to go on that. Like, it takes, it's 66 metres long or something, but that gets you from like the lower town to the upper town. That's Zagreb too is 2 different, like a lot of these towns, isn't it? They were divided in 2, and they used to hate each other, the 2 sides, and they used to fight over a river. And one of the sort of main streets in the old town area now, it used to be the river, and they've filled it all in, and it's full of restaurants and cafes there. And
hopefully we're going to go there tonight.
Yeah, we haven't been out after dark yet.
We've been exhausted.
We get exhausted. So that's the plan, is to go home after we do our live, have a little nap, and then head out for dinner later. But, the St. Mark's Church, I think everybody who's seen photos of Zagreb, that's the church which has all the coloured pictures on the roof, which is like the Croatian flag and the symbols of the city, like the three lions, and there's a castle as well. So that's... And
the draft board?
Yeah, the flag, we'll probably tell them that in the podcast when it comes up. But there's a reason that, the story of how the Croatian flag got the red and white checkerboard on it. So, but there is red and white checkerboard shirts, football shirts everywhere. There's souvenir shops everywhere. But in 2 weeks' time, the Euro Cup starts, and Croatia fancy themselves as a pretty good football team. So I don't know. They're in a group with Spain and Italy and Albania. So I don't know. We'll see how they go. We'll still be in Europe, in Croatia when that starts. So that'll be a bit exciting.
Yeah. Well, the locals definitely think they've got a chance.
They do. Yeah. One of the other weird things, I was talking to my son this morning and telling him about it, and like Lyle and I were talking about before. I think maybe we've mentioned it in a podcast or on a live, but when you go out for coffee, or buy coffee, you get a glass of water. They give you a coffee and a glass of water, which is always 3-4 times the size of your coffee, right? And I thought that's weird. But when we were talking to another Australian friend, Anna, she said they're supposed to do that because coffee...
New Zealand friend.
Oh, sorry, Anna. Yes, New Zealand friend. She said that coffee is dehydrating, so they give you the water to rehydrate. The weird thing is, though, you might pay €1.80. I think the most we've paid for coffee here is $2.50 a cup. It's really good coffee, like really good coffee.
Coffee is excellent.
Not quite hot enough, but it tastes great. And they're actually smaller cups, and I've been enjoying that, actually, I have to say. I don't know, maybe we won't go for the big mugs anymore. But anyway, the point is, you go out to a restaurant, and like last night we went to a really nice restaurant, probably paid a bit more than what we normally do. And, you buy a glass of wine, which is 100 ml.
It was 150, that one.
Wasn't 100, was it? Okay, so for €6 something, so it's still expensive, right? And you can't get tap water for free. You've got to buy water. So you get a coffee for $2.50, you get free water. Go to a restaurant, buy a €20 meal, and you got to buy the water as well. Just weird, just different. And then what about that other thing we were talking about today? You think all the restaurants are full, but they're not restaurants. They're
bars.
Yeah, and there's probably 10 in a row, and people are sitting there. It doesn't matter what time of day, and what are they drinking?
Coffee.
And they'll be drinking wine or beer and coffee, and no food.
And more coffee.
There's no food sold at these bars at all. And the other thing is there's bakeries everywhere, like 2 or 3 in every block, isn't there?
Yeah.
And they line up to get into these bakeries. But the thing is, you can take your own food, pastries, to the bars. They don't mind.
as long as the bars don't sell food.
That's right.
They don't mind. And the vast majority of what we've seen, and like today's Saturday, and it is chock-a-block everywhere.
Oh,
unbelievable. To try and get a seat or a table, practically impossible.
All local, so.
Yeah, but most of those particular bars, they don't serve food. So it's cool.
At home we have bring your own alcohol to some restaurants, and here they have bring your own food to the bar.
Yeah. But one of the things we noticed today too, whether or not it's just the weekend or whatever, but a lot of people really dress up. I mean, really dress up.
You mean they're not going out in their joggers?
No, they're not going out in their joggers.
Or balsamic vinegar on their t-shirt.
Or their balsamic. It was only a little bit of balsamic. But, they really dress up to the nines. And seriously, they look good.
Yeah.
And I've never, ever come across a taller race.
Yeah.
God, they're tall.
They're tall people.
Well, I shouldn't say that's a generalisation. But there are far, far more very, very tall people here than any other city I've been to.
Yeah, well, I remember a quick story just to bore everybody. Back in the 2000 Sydney Olympics, we went there with the kids. So the kids were 24 years younger than they are now, teenagers. And we were walking around Darling Harbour, and there are a lot of Olympic teams, obviously walking around sightseeing as well. But one of the teams that we came across was a Croatian team, and you can tell them they've got that dominant red and white checker shirt with some blue on it. And I can't remember whether it was water polo or volleyball team, but the whole Croatian team, they were signing autographs for the kids, and the kids would, although one of them doesn't even remember it, the other two think it was pretty cool. So, and we've had the Socceroos, our national football team, obviously they've had quite a few people of Croatian descent play for them, including Mark Viduka, who was one of our all-time greats. So got a bit of and we ran into a guy today when we had coffee, and he picked us as Aussies straight away, and without him speaking to him. Do you know why? Actually, I'm going to off subject here. We're the only ones wearing shorts. There are some guys, but there are no women that wear shorts. So you can pick the Aussies a mile off. None. Like everyone's just in long pants. I don't know. Well, maybe when we get to the coastal places down south where it's a bit warmer, they might be. People going past the suitcases here. They might be more shorts around then. But yeah, it's really weird walking around the city. And the women, a lot of the girls, teenagers and women, with their pretty dresses on, they wear stockings here a lot. You don't see that at home.
I don't see that.
Not like your black thick tights or anything, just your normal skin coloured pantyhose, I guess. Hey.
Well, what you were saying about that guy that served us coffee today.
Oh yeah, I didn't finish that. Sorry. Yeah.
As soon as he sat, like as soon as he spoke to us, he said, that'll be fine. That'll be because we said, can we sit there? And yeah, that'll be absolutely fine. And straight away I thought, that bloke's got an Australian accent. But he was talking
He's
Croatian.
got a hint of Australian accent.
Yeah, a hint of an Australian accent. Anyway, just before we left, I had to ask him, I said, have you been to Australia? He said, oh, many, many years. I lived there. So straight away you can pick the accent. But like everywhere, whether it be, other places we've been, the locals definitely know that you're not a local.
Yeah.
Before they even speak to you.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the shorts.
Yeah.
That's a giveaway.
Or the backpack.
Or the backpack, yeah.
We've been caught a couple of times. Like, it's been nice weather, but there's been some storms of an afternoon. And yeah, so we take the backpack with, we broke one backpack. We're on our second backpack. So we take our raincoats and our umbrella, and then of course we take our sun hats in case it's too bright. We lost our sunscreen. I'm a bit cheesed off about that. I think we left it on the bus on our way here, so we must get some more of that before we head too far down the beach yet.
Yeah.
I think? Yeah.
Yep.
Be a good idea. Anything else you want to talk about Zagreb?
I think it is, the architecture is stunning. They say it's a bit of a nickname they've got for us, the alternative to Vienna. And Vienna obviously is probably one of the most beautiful architectural cities in the world, if not the most. Well, you can understand why they call this Little Venice, because...
Vienna.
Oh, Little Vienna. What did I say? Venice. Yeah, Vienna. Because the building and the gardens and the fountains are absolutely stunning.
Yeah, it's really nice and different. Like we've been to some parts of town that are quite old-fashioned. Even they've got the cones roofs tops that look a bit like they've come from out in the country. Yeah. And a couple of things we've done too, which we'll talk all about and give some, the best information we can about getting around, is we've used the local tram system, and we've used the local bus as well. So
very, very courageous on our behalf.
Yeah, although I go on to the website and find out exactly how many stops and count them. And
yeah, there's no getting on the tram without Leanne knowing how many stops there are to our destination.
And have I got us lost yet?
No, I'm not complaining at all.
No.
But it is very brave of us.
Thank you. Yes, it is. So the walking tour was great. As I said, there's the lower town and the upper town. They don't call old and new, lower and upper, isn't it? Yeah. So we're going to tell you all about that as well.
One, because one was on a hill and one was in the valley.
And the local fruit markets and fresh food markets that we went to. We've been through there a few times. We've got some cherries, blueberries and strawberries in the fridge at home. We bought some fresh bread rolls from there today. Very popular market. The locals all go there, don't they?
Sure.
Yeah, and they're all on about their borix. That's like a pasty, I guess. But yeah, we're not a fan. But
no. Not nothing that a good sausage roll wouldn't destroy.
But very different food here to, say, Ravin. Ravin, it was just fish, pizza, pasta. Here it's like a much wider, although, mind you, we've had hamburger and cooked dinner and went out last night. So
yeah, last night was good. But, and the vast majority of the people that we've dealt with, especially with the apartment, and we've organised a wine tour before we actually left Australia, was that right?
That's correct.
And they have been exceptionally helpful.
Yeah.
I mean, exceptional. They couldn't be more friendly.
Yeah. The WhatsApp giving me all this information.
And we met Antonio at the bar. We found one of our local bars, and we met Antonio, and that was so cheap.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
And we put a test to him Leanne, we weren't sure whether we were able to have 2 beers or not. And Leanne we only had €10
cash only bar.
because it was a cash only bar, which is another thing you've got to be really careful of here. A lot of places will only take cash. And so anyway, Antonio said, no, you'll be fine. You'll get 2. Anyway, we got 2 half-litre beers for €9.50.
They're huge, aren't they?
And we got the 50 cents change.
Yeah, they're not ripping us off.
So there was no rip-off. It was really good.
You feel safe. There's no, you don't see any homeless people around. There's nobody trying to sell you stuff either.
Yeah, there's no hawking on the streets at all.
No, so it's really, you're not worried about pickpockets and like everyone in Italy is always talking about it. There's no talk of that here at all. So.
And when you consider that this place, the War of Independence was from 1991 to 1995, like it's impressive.
Yeah, very young country. So.
And really sophisticated. Not that I'm not sure there's any European country that's not sophisticated, but
you just got to remember they don't have the money that some of the bigger European capitals
Well, we
have.
did talk about that. We talked about comparing it with Italy, Rome and, Florence and some of the Spanish cities. But all those European countries, they all had their own empires at some stage. So they all had plenty of money. Whereas here, for most of their existence, were under foreign rule.
So, yeah, it's a fascinating history, that's for sure. All right. And tomorrow, before we finish, as Lyle mentioned before, we're doing a wine tour. We weren't sure if that was going to happen for several reasons, but it's one where I've done met this lady online, and they do boutique wine tours. Like it's not like it's a private wine tour, so they've booked us two in, and we're going to do a whole podcast about it. And I think it's like somewhere we're going, it's like a strawberry festival, so strawberries and wine. And so we're looking forward to meeting them and heading out into the countryside around Zagreb, yeah?
Yeah, and they're probably, that lady's spoken to you, probably 3 times?
Yeah, she keeps
and
ringing out.
she is, like, even to describe how many tram stops there were to get to wherever. This is a lady that's doing the wine tour with us, or taking us on the wine tour. She's ringing Leanne and explaining, or should I say Leonita.
What does she call me?
Linny. Another little cute name for Leonita.
I don't know.
Just so helpful.
Yeah, it is.
That's all.
Yeah. So, we're really enjoying our time here in Zagreb. It's got a great vibe, and, we'll when we do our podcast about it, we'll tell you, some things that you have to do, some things that you probably don't need to do, how many days we think you should stay. And I've been keeping a note of all the places that we've eaten, had coffee, visited, and so I can put them all in a map too.
All the places?
Yeah, I have been. Like here in Zagreb. Yeah, yep, I have. But except for the coffee this morning, we didn't get the name of that place, but that was good. But it's on the main square, so we should be able to find that again.
Sure.
I think. Yeah. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed our little live here in Zagreb. Oh, I'm going to pick the camera up and just do a slow turn for you, so you can have a look before we come back and say goodbye. So excuse me, reaching down in front of you all there. All right, so go nice and slow. There we go. There's the fountain over there.
Where did you are?
Yeah, thanks, Noel. Big trees here. And the fountain over there too. Looks like they're setting up for some music up there on the rotunda. So beautiful pink roses. Everything's so green. It's one of those buildings that's under construction over there. You can see more flowers there. In the background this way. And the friendly locals. All right. Okay, so thanks for joining us, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.